Okay, so now all of you are visible. Please unmute your mic and tell me fast. Am I
Yes, ma'am.
audible as well as my screen is visible to you or not? Please tell me.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. In the last lecture, we have already learned about the different various data types which are provided by the C language. What do you mean by variable? How to declare the variables? The rules of forming the variables. Okay, today we see about the constants. What do you mean by the constant? So before going to the constant, please anyone tell me what is the definition of variable? If you already learned the concept of last lecture, then you can able to tell me the definition of variable. If you perfectly know the definition of variable, it is exactly opposite of that variable, the definition of constant. So what do you mean by variable? Please, anyone, please try. What is the definition of variable? No. Variable means it is the quantity which vary during the program execution. Okay. And what do you mean by the constant? The constant is exactly opposite of the variable. The constant is a fixed value that does not change during the execution of program. Constant means constant. The value is stable. It is not vary throughout the program execution, and that's why the name is given as the constants. The C supports the several type of constants as below. See this figure. Actually, there are the two broad categories of C constants, numeric constant and character constant. The numeric constants are categorized again into the two different parts. The first is the integer constant, second one is the real constant. And in the second category, character constant, it is divided into again the two different categories, character constant and string constant. Okay, now we will see each and every one in detail. Numeric constant. The word indicates its meaning. Numeric means what? The constant which consists of only the numbers. And that's why the name is given as numeric constant. Again, the numeric constants are classified into the integer constant and real constant. So all of you are aware about the concept of integer and real. Because we have already completed the data type integer as well as the real. The integer constant means it consists of only the integers, and real constant means it consists of the integer part as well as the fractional part, and it consists of the sequence of digits, means only the digits from 0 through 9, and that's why the name is given as numeric constant. Then numeric constants can be expressed into the two different forms. The first one is the decimal integer constant, and second is the real constant. First, decimal integer constant. It is the decimal integer constant is a sequence of 0 through 9. And the one basic thing related to this decimal integer constant is the base of decimal number is 10. Okay, and that's why the name is given as decimal. Decimal means 10. You see, the decimal integers consist of the combination of digits 0 through 9. And if you count 0 through 9, then these are the 10 digits, and that's why the base of decimal number is 10. Okay, the following are the rules to form the integer constant or the decimal integer constant. What are the different rules? In the examination, most of the time the question is asked on this topic. Define the constant and explain the various types of constant, or there may be the possibility of define the constants, explain the numeric constant as well, and also write the rules to form the integer constant or decimal integer constant. So the first rule is only digits 0 to 9 are used to form the decimal integer constant. As I already told you that decimal means 10. The base is 10, and that's why the digits from 0 to 9 are only permitted to use under the decimal integer constant. Alphabet and special symbols are not allowed. Of course, as it is in the category of numeric constant, the alphabets and the special symbols are not permitted. It must not have decimal point. Again, this is an important point that you should remember. As it is the integer constant, it do not contain the fractional part. It do not consist of the decimal point. Hello, is there any problem? Hello.
No, ma'am.
Okay, the number may be positive or negative. The decimal integer number may be either positive or negative. Means you can write the positive numbers as well as the negative numbers. No commas and blank space are permitted within the integer constant. And these are some valid examples: 273, -575, and 83. So these are the valid examples of the decimal integer constant. Then second category is real constant. The real constant means, first of all, you understand the real numbers. Real numbers means the numbers which consist of the fractional part or the numbers which consist of the decimal point is called as the real constant. And again, these real constants are represented in two different forms: decimal notation and exponentiation notation. So the first notation is decimal notation. The decimal notation, when we have to use the decimal notation and the exponentiation form, you first clear the thing. When the moderate number is to be used, then that number is represented using the decimal form. What do you mean by the moderate number? The moderate number means the number which is not big or not small. This number is called as the moderate number. Some of the rules for constructing the real constant in decimal forms are, again, the first rule is same. Only digits 0 through 9 are allowed to form the real constant. And the second thing is very important that you should remember: it must contain the decimal point. As it is the decimal notation, as it is the real number, it must contain the decimal point, means fractional part. The number may be either positive or negative. No commas and blanks are permitted with the real constant. Most of the rules are similar to the previous one. Only difference is that it must contain the decimal point. The second format is exponentiation form. Exponential form, when the real constant is very big or very small, then in that situation, the exponential notation is to be used. It is also called as a scientific notation. Means the number is not medium, the number is not moderate. The number is very, very big. Means you cannot easily read the number. Means that number is very, very big. Or the number is very, very small. Means just like the point, not something, and then the number starts. So such a kind of the numbers are represented in the exponential notation. What is the syntax? How the decimal, how the real constant is represented in the exponential form? The syntax is mantissa and exponent. It consists of two parts: mantissa and exponent. One simple example just I have taken here. 0.00073 can be expressed as 0.73 minus e, or you can write 0.73 e minus 3. That minus 3 is the exponent part and 0.3 is the mantissa part. Or you can also express the same notation with using the capital E or the small e letter to separate the mantissa part and the exponent part. Mantissa part means 0.73 and exponent part is minus 3, and these two parts are separated using either capital E letter or the small e letter. And following are the rules to form the real constants. Mantissa is a real constant represented in decimal form. Okay, mantissa means the first part. And always remember that the first part always consists of the decimal form. Decimal form means it consists of the decimal point, just like the 0.73, point something. The mantissa and exponent are separated by letter E or E, that I already told you that. The number mantissa part may have the positive or negative side. See, the first part is either positive or the negative. Exponent are either positive or negative constant. Similar to the mantissa part, in the exponent part, you can also use the positive number as well as the negative number. Okay. Now the next constant or the next category is character constant. We have now we already completed the first category, which is the first category numeric constant. So numeric constant again divided into the integer and real constant. Now the second category character constant. In that character constant, any single character from the character set of C language when included or enclosed in a single quotation mark, it is known as the character constant. Remember that character constant is different than the string constant. Character means any single character from your keyboard. That may be either a special symbol or any digit or the alphabet, no matter. But if it is included in a single quotation mark, then it is treated as a character constant. See the examples: A, capital A, but this A is included in a single quotation mark. 4, the 4 is included in a single quotation mark, and that's why it is treated as a character constant. Some special symbols, and then again the alphabet means any character from the keyboard which is included in a single quotation mark is called as the character constant. All character constants have integer values and which are equivalent to their ASCII value. ASCII value means American Standard Code Information Interchange. These are the some of the values the computer internally uses for the respected characters on the keyboard. Some of the ASCII values for the capital alphabets means capital case letters A to Z. 65 to 90 means capital A starts from 65 and end with 90 to the Z. Small case letters A starts from 97 up to the 122. Similarly for 0 to 9, 48 to 57. So all these ASCII values are internally assigned during the processing of your program. Now, what are the rules to construct the single character constant? You can use the alphabet, digit, and special symbol. As in the example, I have used the alphabet, then digit, and the special symbols. You can use any character. It must contain only a single character. Remember that the character constant do not consist of the more than one character, means two character, three character, or the five character. It is always single character, and it is very important. The third rule is character must be enclosed in the single quotation mark. It is again very important, or these second and third, these two rules are the differentiating rules from the string constant. As it is included in a single quotation mark, then it is treated as a character constant. And then the second category is string constant. What do you mean by the string? The string is the combination of characters, collection of characters, or a sequence of characters. String constants are enclosed in the double quotation mark. You see the difference in between character and string constant. See here, character is single character, but string is the sequence of character, means collection of character. And uh, character constant is included in a single quotation mark, but in case of the string constant, it is included in a double quotation mark. This is the second difference. And the third difference is, yes, you can give the example of character constant as well as the string constant. Now, in case of the string constant, as it is a sequence of characters, combination of characters, means you can use more than one letter and included in a double quotation mark, then it will be treated as a string constant. So Jalgaon, Jalgaon, it is the combination of characters. Then the second example is 4 plus 5. Yes, it is also allow because the special symbols and digits are also allow, but the condition is that it should be included in a double quotation mark for the string constant. And the last example is the computer. Okay, clear? Are you understood the concept of constant, types of constant? Yes,
Yes,
yes or
ma'am.
no? yes, difference between the character and string constant, because most of the time such questions are asked in the interviews as well as your practical viva. What do you mean by the character constant? What do you mean by the string constant? Do you know the difference between the string constant and character constant? So these are the very basic questions which are frequently asked in the interview. The next concept is the comments. What do you mean by the comments? The comments are non-executable statements. I think we have already learned the concept of comments in the structure of C programming. When we have learned the structure of C programming, in that we learn the concept of comments. So comments are non-executable statements, means the statements which are not executed, and that's why it is called as the non-executable statements. Comment describe the purpose of program and help to understand the program easily. Means comment means what? Comment is simply the description of your program, what you are doing in the program, for what purpose you are doing the program. Suppose for example I want to do the addition of two number, then in comment just I write this is the program to add the two numbers. Because the comments are generally used for the users understanding purpose, because the user can easily understand the program's purpose. Comments are represented by, this is the symbol, or in between these two symbols the comments will be written, the slash star dash dash star slash. There may be one line or multi-line comments, means there may be the possibility of occurring the single line comment or the multi-line comments, but you should remember that this is a symbol that starts with comment and end with comment, slash star dash dash star slash. If the particular statement is included within this symbol, then compiler understand that this is the non-executable statement and computer will not evaluate or execute such a kind of the statements which are included in the slash star and star slash. Comments can be written anywhere in the program except inside a string constant or character constant, or within the variable name, string constant, any literal, reserved words. You can use or you can write the comment anywhere, means at the starting of your program, middle of the program, ending of the program, but do not write the comment in between the word, in between the constant or the variables. And this is the example, see here, this is the comment, example of comment, and I use here the slash star. Slash star means it is the starting of comment, and the comment is programmed to calculate average of first 5 numbers, and it is end with the star slash. After encountering this statement by the compiler, it understands that this is a non-executable statement because this statement is included within the slash star and star slash, and that's why it is the comment, non-executable statement. So clear? Now you only remember that comments are used only for users understandability, and it should be included in the pair of slash star and star slash. Okay. Now the next topic is input output statement. All of us know that for the operation, any kind of the operation which is to be performed with the help of computer, you require the input. You require something raw material or the inputs, as well as after processing, it produces the output. So every program needs the input for processing and display the output. Means suppose I want to perform the addition of two numbers. Then for that operation, first of all, I need the input of two variables. I need input of two variables. After processing, the result will be displayed on the monitor. There are some functions which are available for transferring the information between computer and input output devices. For the input output statements, the C language provides you the set of functions. And the set of functions are categorized into the two different categories: formatted input output function and unformatted input output functions. So out of which first we see the formatted input functions. So what do you mean by the formatted input functions? Formatted input functions means uh, these kind of the functions allow the user to read any type of value from the standard input device keyboard. Means if you want to give some value or some input through your keyboard from your standard input device, then you should use the formatted console input function. And the very standard and popular input function which is used in a C language is a scanf function. And this is the general syntax of scanf statement. Scanf, then into the bracket, the first parameter is control string. Always remember that the control string is included in a double quotation mark. After that, the number of variables that are required for the programming. Argument 1, argument 2, argument 3, argument 1, n. If there are more than one or two variables, then you should separate all the variables arguments with the help of the commas. See here, what the control string include. The control string contains the data format specifier and which indicates what type of value is to be read. Means you have to tell the computer that what kind of the value. Either you give the integer type value or the float type value or the character type value that you have to tell to the computer, and that should be included into the control string with the data format specifier. Argument list contains the argument 1, argument 2, argument 3 up to the argument n, where each argument is the name of variable. Argument is nothing but arguments are the variables which are required to do the operations through your program, for which value is to be read. Each variable must be preceded by an ampersand. This and operator, this is also called as the and operator. This sign is generally read as the ampersand, and this ampersand is preceded with the variable. How? Then you will get clear in the following example. Control string is enclosed in the double quotation mark. Okay, remember that the syntax, if you are not included the control string into the double quotation mark, then it generates the syntax error. So kindly note the syntax of each and every statement in the C language as it is. It contains a data format specifier, and the data format specifiers are not separated by the comma. This thing is very, very important. Means at one time, if you want to read the more than one variables, like the integer value, float value, and the character value, then you cannot separate all that data format specifier with the commas. In the following example, you see int average, that I, F, and C, all these three letters are the small letters, as it is converted into the capital case letters as it treated as the first letter of the sentence. That's why. But you remember that I, F, and C are the small case letters. Int average means I taken one variable AVG and of the data type integer. Then second variable is percentage PER of the type float, means I want to store the decimal value into the percentage, means into the PER, and that's why here I have taken the float data type. Then AVG means in AVG variable I want to store the integers, only integers, whole numbers, and that's why I have taken here the integer data type. Then grade, grade of the type character, means just like the A grade, B grade, C grade. Okay, then how to use the scanf function? Scanf into the double quotation mark. Here I write the control string. The control string consists of the data format specifiers. As I have the three different variables, average, percentage, and grade, the data type of average is integer. For integer, this in C language, the data format specifier is %d. Okay. For percentage, I have taken the data type as a float. So for float, the %f is used as a data specifier. N for character, %C is used as a data format specifier. After completion of the data format specifier, here I complete the double quotation mark and then given the comma as per this above syntax. After that, I have used the number of three variables, average, percentage, and grade, but preceded with the ampersand sign. This ampersand sign means actually this is the size of operator. It is also called as the size of operator. Sorry, not size of operator. It is also treated as an address operator. Address operator means at a particular address, the value given by the user will be stored into the memory and the name is given as the AVG. Then the second variable is ampersand PER and likewise ampersand grade. Okay, clear? This is about the input function scanf. Let's see this table. According to the various different data types which are provided by the C language, these are the various data format specifiers. For character, %C is used, int, %D, float, %F. It's very simple. Generally, in most of the data type, generally the first letters of the data type will be considered. Unsigned integer %U, long int %LD, long float %LF, string %S, short int, it is a different percentage. There may be the possibility to ask the question as a MCQ on this short int because it is a little bit different to remember. So what will be the data format specifier for the short int? So you should remember %H. Octal int %O and hexa int %X. According to the requirement of your program, you should use the data format specifier in the scanf function. This is about the input function, and now we learn about the formatted output function. The printf is very popular formatted output function which is used in the C programming language. For input purpose, we have learned the scanf function. For output purpose, it is the printf function. This function is used to display the message. So what is the purpose? Just like the previous function, scanf function, the purpose is fixed. For the scanf, the purpose is only to read the values. Only for the input purpose, we use the scanf function. But in case of the printf function, the purpose is only to display the message as well as the value of variables on the standard output device monitor. All of you know that the standard output device is the monitor, and after processing, the whatever the output that will be generated by the computer will be displayed on the standard output device monitor. What is the general syntax? The general syntax of printf is printf control string included in a double quotation marks for separation comma and argument list. Here the control string contains message to display, means what you want to display, that should be included into the double quotation mark as a control string. Second is the data format specifiers. If required, means if you want to display the value of particular variable along with some text, then you have to use the message along with data format specifiers. And escape sequence character, just like the \n, \t, or then one of the example in the first example, I just print the message hello everyone. Suppose I want to display only the message as it is, then I have to use the printf function with only the first parameter control string. So in this example, the control string is hello everyone, and it is included in a double quotation mark. And remember that the each and every statement in the C language is terminated with the semicolon. When with the printf, you can display the different type of values also on the monitor. So how to display the different type of values on the monitor, that will be understood with the following example. Int a equal to 35. Here I have taken the two different variables a and b. The data type of a is integer, and I have stored the value 35 into the a, and under the b The data type of B is float. The value is 300.450. As it is a float, means it is a real value. And as it is a real value, it must contain the decimal point. It must consist of the fractional part. And dot 450 is the fractional part, and 300 is the integer part, and the whole is called as the real number. And suppose I want to display the value of both A and B, then how to use the printf statement? Printf into the control string, you use A equal to. Suppose if you want the output in the format A equal to 35 and B equal to 300.450, then you must write the A equal to part. A equal to, because the purpose of printf statement is to print the message as it is, as well as to print the value of variables. And if you want to print as it is, then you must include into the control string into the double quotation marks, that is A equal to %d, and B equal to %f, not and. Then control string means double quotation marks completed, comma A, comma B. And here I have used the \t. So \t means what? \t means in between A and B, just I have given one tab. One tab means just I have given some space in between the A and B. If not given, then both the values are connected. Means there is no more space in between the A and B. And remember, in case of the printf statement, you just write the name of variables A and B. But in case of the scanf, you have to write address operator &A, &B. But in case of printf, you have to write only the name of variables, because you are going to print only the value of that particular variables. And why here we use the data format specifiers %d, %f, because with the execution of this statement, it should be tell to the compiler that the value of A is of the type integer and the value of B is of the type float. And that's why here again I have used A equal to %d, B equal to